Come fly with me, we'll fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come fly with me, we'll fly away. Come fly with me, we'll float down to Peru. In Llama there's a one-man band and he'll toot his flute for you. Come fly with me, we'll float down in the blue. Once I get you up there, where the air is rarefied, we'll just glide, starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You might hear the angels cheer, because we're together. Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. You just say the words and we'll beat the birds and to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come fly with me, let's fly, let's fly. Pack up, let's fly away. Because today is all about aviation. We've got air sea rescue. We've got bombing raid. We've got an air show. We've got humanitarian efforts. But most importantly of all, we've got a full-on flight simulator written in BASIC. So, pilot gloves are on, pilot hat is on, wear my flying jacket, my aviator specs. So chocks away, full throttle, and let's take off to the wild blue yonder.
We're starting off with the flight simulator from Replicating Reality, Exploring Computer Simulations by Tim Hartnell. Chapter 23, Up, Up and Away. Flight simulators are probably the most entertaining simulation programs you can run. Many of us will never learn to fly, but would like to enjoy the experience. A flight simulation program gives you a chance to find out a little of how it feels to fly. The main challenge facing a pilot is to keep on top of a number of situations which are changing all at once. Ignore any one of them, such as the angle at which the plane is flying or the amount of fuel you have, for too long, and your plane may well drop out of the sky. Although this program does not occur in real time, so you have a chance to think about the choices facing you before you act, you'll still find it a fairly challenging and frustrating simulation to master. Even getting the plane off the ground is not particularly easy the first few times you run the program. Get it in the air, and you have to fight every second to keep it there. And once you try to land. Crashing during a landing attempt is a trifle inconvenient in a real plane. The moment you try and land 150 feet above the ground, you'll give thanks that you're flying your computer. Flight simulation contains another bonus which makes it very worthwhile to run. Your flight is automatically recorded, so that any moment while you're still in the air, you can tell the computer you want to see the whole of the current flight from the beginning again. It is very entertaining to watch your flight unfolding quickly in front of you. The controls are handed back to you once you reach the point in the original flight where you told the computer you wanted a repeat. Think of the flight as having 3 parts, each of which requires a different approach to the controls. Part 1 is the takeoff, Part 2 is the actual flight, and Part 3 is the landing. You'll become an ace pilot fairly easily if you concentrate on mastering each flight section in turn. Let's have a look. So, this is the flight simulator. You can see the horizon is a line of asterisks. And next to that we have the compass. We are currently heading north. Range is how far we've flown, which is currently 0. Time is 0.1. 83 is the desired bearing we need to land at. Our airspeed is currently 0. Our altimeter is 0. We're currently at a bearing of 0 degrees. We have full fuel, no elevation, and undercarriage is down. This is a turn-based flight simulator. So we start off, let's press spacebar, which will increase our throttle with a little beep. And again, we need to increase throttle so we can take off. So, it refreshes the entire screen every time, which is a little bit slow. So, we've now got airspeed of 63. I'm now going to press Q, which will increase our elevation. Note our airspeed is dropping slightly, and our fuel is already down to 701. We've currently done 1 mile. So, let's increase elevation again. And that's not seemingly working. Not quite sure why that's not working. It could be I've got the wrong keys, maybe. Let's check the keys. Because if I press the wrong key, it won't do nothing. Certainly, it should be Q. Unless it's capital Q. It's capital Q. Right, let's put caps lock on. So, airspeed is dropping. Let's increase speed again. Let's increase elevation. Up we go. Airspeed is dropping. Oh, we've now taken off. So let's stop for a second. Let's put caps lock on. Airspeed is currently 48, elevation 13, undercarriage is down. That's going to slow us down. So press 1 to lift the undercarriage. Our airspeed is still too low. So let's press the spacebar a few times to get up to speed. Let's get up to a speed of 100 perhaps. Just like flying a real plane. Okay, so our nose is now -2, so we need to pull our nose up a little bit with Q. Our current bearing, we've drifted a bit to port, 353. We need to get to a bearing of 83, so we need to change, we bank to the right by pressing M. Our nose is still too low, so let's pull up. That's better, and again. And let's now bank to the right by pressing capital M. So, as you can see, the horizon is now tilted. Our nose is dropping again, so let's pull up slightly. Fuel is dropping. You can see the nice gauges for the airspeed and the altimeter. Our bearing is currently 3. We need to go round to 83. So let's keep going to the right with capital M. Bearing is currently 11. Elevation, we're now diving slightly, but that's okay. The angle is, the horizon is now tilted quite alarmingly because we are banking quite hard. We're now dipping a bit too low, so let's pull up slightly. Bleep. Over time, the aircraft will return to level flight, but we don't want it to do that yet. We need to get round to 37 degrees, undercarriage is dropping, so let's pull up slightly. That's better. And let's keep going round. The bearing is randomly chosen each time you play. So something might be lucky and have a bearing of 0, so we can just land and take off immediately. Elevation drops again. Just pull up. And we're wobbling about. As you can see, the compass is moving around. 60 degrees, 66. Elevation is now 0, so we're about to start going into land. So let's take the engine off, bank a little bit more, pull up slightly, so it's a bit too high, 70, let's go around a bit more. So even though we're banking, we're still going to the left, which isn't quite correct. 78 degrees, a little bit more. 85, that's close enough. So let's come in for landing. So you press capital A, points the nose down. So a little bit more speed. And now we have to wait. Unfortunately, it's a turn-based thing. To wait, you just press any key that isn't a command key. So I'm going to press enter. So we should. Elevation is now too low. Let's pull up slightly. The bearing is correct. Airspeed is okay. We need to pull up though. That's better. So you want to land, but not too fast. So we've gone a bit too far to port. Let's go to the right. That's about correct. Let's press enter just to move it forwards. It should start leveling up. Elevation is oak -6. That's not too bad. The horizon doesn't change based on your elevation, unfortunately. So we're coming down. Altimeter is 48, and I'm going to put the undercarriage down by pressing 1. That is down. Let's pull up slightly. And let's drop the throttle. Nice level flight. And let's come down. 80 degrees. Well done, a perfect landing. We'll come back to this later, as I'm going to make a few improvements. This is Air Show from Tim Hartnell's giant book of Spectrum games. So this is a little gambling game, just to freshen the palate. It is... I've lost the instructions now. Basically, you bet on planes to win. Jesus Christ. Here we are. Yeah, just follow the instructions. So which plane to win? I'm going to guess on plane number 4. How much you want to bet on it? Let's say $50. $50 we do's. Please stand by. So we're betting on plane 4, which is the green plane. It's not the most exciting game. It is interesting how it does the multi-threading, I suppose, because you have 6 different planes moving at different rates. But, yeah. Oh! Let's try again. Let's bet on lucky number 2. Let's go with $50 again. Off we go. Come on, red. Come on, number 2. Come on, number 2. Just for fun. It wasn't a very big game to type in, to be fair. So it's not like you spent 3 hours typing it in. And we broke. Yep, I broke and bored. Right, on to the next one. We're carrying on with Tim Hartnell's giant book of Spectrum games and looking at Gwyn Dewey's Bomb Raid programme. So it's essentially another version of City Bomber. We're in control of a plane that has to make an emergency landing. You have to drop bombs on the plane drop bombs from the plane by pressing B. However, the twist here is the Mad Bricky, who might show up and make life difficult. So, enough further ado, let's get started. Here are the buildings. Here is my plane. So I had made a couple of additions. Originally, there was no sound at all, which I thought was a bit rubbish. So I added a tiny little beep to the bomb dropping section. You can only drop one bomb at a time by pressing B. You've got 3 lives, which is unusual for a City Bomber program. Because you usually get 1 life and that's it. Oh. Once you've dropped a bomb, you have to wait for it to hit the ground before... It's a little bit slow, unfortunately. I think adding the beep made it even slower. It was quite slow before, to be fair. Oh. Because the bomb just falls straight down. There is no momentum. That's better. And there was a bug also. If you would run the program and then the Mad Bricky would appear. Hopefully we'll see him in a bit. And the game would instantly crash out to basic because there was a missing variable. The variable P. We just have to set to 21, but it doesn't do it for you. Which is a shame, because it's a good little game. There's a number of user-defined graphics. There's 2 for the plane, 1 for the bot. There he is. So the Mad Bricky appears and rebuilds a building, which can be a right pain. But a nice bit of animation with the Mad Bricky, to be fair. As we're closer to the ground... Oh! Not sure that's entirely fair. That could be my code, to be fair. Nice explosion, though. So we have to try and get this building on our second life. And hopefully the bomb will carry on falling. Yes, it will. It's all about timing. And now, we've got a long wait. So what I'm going to do, rather than wait to ride this flick across the screen, I'm going to increase the emulation speed, thusly, until either the Mad Bricky appears, or we land. Because otherwise we'll be here forever. Yay! Ooh. Level 2. That's the only problem with the original City Bomber. With only 1 life, you didn't have to. Weren't faced the situation where you would die after having hit most of the buildings, and then have a very long wait. Because you could be unlucky and the mad brickie could appear, to be fair. Oh, no. That's better. Right. So we're racking up the score. Hopefully these are uninhabited buildings. I've seen versions of this game called Chernobyl, where you have to land in Chernobyl, but obviously the city's been evacuated, therefore you're not committing some vast atrocity. I've seen versions called Manhattan, which is although it is skyscrapers, but still, you think, really? But to be fair, that was the old days. But people often think of these things. Here we go. Keep bombing away. We're safe for the mad brickie so far. I do like the mad brickie. So nice. Oh, here he is. He's a character. Right, so we're going to have to catch this building. That's it. Otherwise, we're dead. And let's go for that one. That's better. Now it's going to be tricky though. That's better. Right, 2 buildings to take out. 1 building. That's better. Now a nice smooth run in, provided the mad brickie doesn't appear. Now, what sometimes happens, that the game freezes. It's not actually frozen. It's trying to make the mad brickie appear. And unfortunately, the code doesn't take into account the fact that you might not have any buildings left or something. So it's not actually broken. It's just stuck on line 3062, 3. Might be my addition. So let's look at that. So if add this to that, basically it looks for anything here. So what we're going to do instead is, let's try for turning. There we are. Because sometimes the mad brickie tries to build a building, but it can't for some reason, or the plane's too low. But it doesn't quite cope with that. So we should hopefully. Whoops! I've certainly hit something. Probably the mad brickie. So now I'm going to bomb my basic code. This would be an adventure. Oh, there he is again. Damn you, brickie. Oh, he's again! At least he's keeping people busy. Oh! I've hit a building which is very, very high. Game over. But that was rather good. I enjoyed that, apart from that slight bug, but it's pretty good. Next game is Air Sea Rescue from More Games to Your Spectrum. It is written by Graham Carter. So, while on holiday one year, Tim Hartnell capsizes his pedal boat. You must fly to his rescue in your helicopter or be haunted by his ghost for the rest of your life. Use the cursor keys to manoeuvre the helicopter. Let's give it a go. It's a very quick game. Helicopter, there's Tim. He's in the sea. Move our helicopter down, move across, and he's drowned. So let's try that again. Helicopter, nice big chunky helicopter, all made out of user-defined graphics, by the way. And Tim's drowned. It doesn't have. You can only move one space at a time. And move the helicopter. And Tim's drowned. One more try, then we'll try to make it slightly easier. So down it goes. Down we go. Oh, I've saved Tim Hartnell. Right. So let's look at the code. It's very simple code. So line 100. Line 100, sorry. Is the difficulty. Let's make it a little bit easier. 125. Here we go. So helicopter moves left, right, up, down. You can go up, but it doesn't handle it very well. You need to be this level and slightly ahead of Tim. That's it, and that's all you get. Air Sea Rescue. It could have done with some sound. I'm not being funny. It could have done with some sound, but it's all right. It does the job. And the important thing is we have saved Tim Hartnell because we'll need him for later. Our fourth game today is from Computer Games, Science in Action by Patricia Grady. It is Parcel Drop. 10 farms in a remote part of the country have been cut off by muddy floodwaters. You are the pilot of a small aircraft. Your assignment is to drop a food parcel as close to each farm as possible. Your aircraft keeps circling each farm until you press capital D to drop a parcel. The centre of the target area is marked by a cross. You can score up to 400 points for a parcel dropped on target during the first pass over any farm. Later drops on target score up to 200 points. Your score will vary depending on how close you are to the target. No points are given to parcels which land outside the target area. The too late message indicates you pressed D too late and the parcel has landed off screen in floodwater. The object of the game is to gain the highest score after visiting 10 farms. Scores over 1500 are very good indeed. Let's save those farmers. Parcel drop, farm 1. You need to press capital D, not lowercase d. And the parcel is a hash. I've currently dropped it off the screen, which is a bit of a shame. Oh, there we are, dropping it down. That's a hit. So the farms don't look very prosperous, being yellow. And I don't know where the floodwater is. Unless the idea is the farms are very large. In which case, it wouldn't matter too much if there. But that's pretty good. Oh, close. Farm 5. It's nice and fast. It's a basic same idea as City Bomb, except rather than dropping bombs, you're dropping food. But also, what's nice is the package has momentum. So it doesn't just drop straight down. So for example, dropping up above just makes it miss, which is a bad thing. So you're going to be quick. And there's not a lot of sound. But when you get on target, you get a beep. So that's not bad. But I think we can make it slightly better. Because I think that there should be not yellow ground, but floodwater. And I think that the farm should be green, because it's a farm. So let's try it again. But this time let's put caps lock on, so I don't have to keep pressing D. So now, oh, that's not quite right. I didn't want ink 4, I wanted paper 4. Stupid me. Paper 4. Right, try it again. Caps lock is still on. So now we've got a farm in the middle of floodwater. So that's better. I could have done with a bit more beeps. Let's put some beeps in. I like beeps, I'm sorry, I do like beeps. So, where's the beep? Where's the beep go? If not, blah, blah, blah. Here we are. So, let's put a beep in. 245, beep, wait, beep, 0.001. Tiny beep. Let's see what that does. I do like a little sound when you drop. Yeah, that didn't work. Well, there was a single beep. We didn't like that. So, that was a very, very short beep, and there's only one beep. Goes to 5,000. Print that. Goes to 500. So that's it dropping it. Okay. Let's now try for make it slightly longer beep and make it 295. All I want is a little beep. That's better. What's the point of having a spectrum without colours and beeps? So, that's pretty good. 360. Anything over 1500 is good. That's slightly too late. Spot on. I'm good at this flying lark. Close. Possibly in the outbuildings. Here we go. Because if it lands in the floodwater near the farm, it probably will work. It'll probably float. So I've done pretty well actually. Yes. And that's why I like type-ins, because you can easily make them better. An early form of modding. Now, back to flight simulation. So, a number of changes here. For a start, it's now real-ish time. So it is responsive to be pressing the keys. I've also changed the keys because they annoyed me. Q should not go up. We're flying an aviation thing. So Q should be push the stick down, A should be up. I've changed the meters. So we have, those are basically your graphics characters, but they're different colours for fuel as well. So we should be pulling up, just about. We've also added colour for the ground. Can we pull up? I think it's, yes, it's caps lock's the problem. Ah, yes, it's a little bit unresponsive, but it just about works. So we need to pull up. You can take area. Also, now the horizon actually just about works. There was a call to a subroutine to make the horizon change, and on the spectrum just returned, did nothing. That's not really ideal. But you can see there's a line where we're flying and the horizon is now far below it. Oh, airspeed is dropping, that's bad. So the good news is we need to land on the same bearing. So we increase our speed. So what should happen is those lines should drop based on where the elevation is, which it just about does. You can see where the green is for the horizon. And yeah, the code there was missing. It was in there for the C64. It's a series of segments which adjust where the horizon is based on your elevation. Ah, that's better. It's now finally caught up. Rather strange of it. Oh, hello. Here we go. Let's keep pushing the speed forward. I've still got the undercarriage down, so let's lift that up with a 1. Hopefully. Because it's now... That's down. No, went up. So originally I made these changes and it made it incredibly slow because it was redrawing the screen every time. Come on, undercarriage up, please. Are you up now? Ah, because I changed the keys. 1 for undercarriage made no sense to me. So what I did, I changed it so that undercarriage will be U. U for undercarriage. And it's probably capital U. Now, has that done it? Has that done it? Yes, it has. We've lifted the undercarriage. Our airspeed is too low. We've got a nice elevation. So we're now real time. The meters are quite elegant. You can see the lines, which are quite nice. Let's get some speed up. The other thing I noticed was when you banked left and right, you changed direction, which you would expect, and you also changed the wing angle, as you see on the screen. I've now changed those to be O and P for left and right, rather than Z and M, because that was rubbish. So we've now gone too far to port. So let's bank to starboard. Do they say that in airplanes? I don't know, but I'm saying it. It's going to be in caps lock, unfortunately. So we should be banking now. Yes, we are. And the horizon should start tilting. One thing I noticed, though, was you could be at quite a steep turn, but you wouldn't be turning, which was strange because it only turned. There we are. Let's pull up slightly. You only oh, I've dived to a mistake. Let's pull up. Let's pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. You only turned when you actually banked. So even though your angle of the wings might be, let's say, 6 degrees, which is quite a steep turn, you weren't actually turning, which didn't make a lot of sense for me. So now we are still turning because the wings are slightly not level. So we're moving forward. There we are. We're now level again. The undercarriage is too low. So let's pull up. What we need to do now is land on the same bearing we started at, which is a bit rubbish. It's better when the bearing is different because it forces you to take off. Otherwise, you can literally take off, fly 1 turn, and then land again. But we're currently there. We're currently dropping slightly. It's not too bad. Let's pull up ever so slightly. Fuel is dropping. Can I pull up? Oh, we are climbing ever so slightly. Because you only need to display your bars and the compass. The compass is just printed every turn, which is quite elegant. It just displays over the top of it. So altimeter is 278. Elevation is dropping slightly. We've drifted slightly to port. Let's go a bit to starboard. Better if I changed it to not be caps lock or to put caps lock on automatically. Here we are. So now we need to land. So to land, you need to be below 15 and the low airspeed. It doesn't really mind about elevation. It doesn't mind about your wing angle, which personally I think is wrong. I think ideally, if I did it again, I'd change it so you had to fly, let's say, at least 20 miles. Your elevation isn't too steep, your wing angle isn't too steep, and the wings aren't too wonky. Otherwise, you could collide into the ground, which would be bad. It does check the undercarriages down though, to see something. So I'm now directly on bearing, which is good. I'm diving too steeply. Let's pull up. There we are. A little bit unresponsive, but that's aviation for you. Pull back on the stick. Fuel has now gone yellow because we were under a certain amount of fuel. It's not red though. When it's red, we're in real trouble. Airspeed is okay. Altitude is okay. We've gone slightly too far to the left. Let's go a bit slightly to the right. Look at that horizon. Yeah, you can see clearly. This is just like being in VR, isn't it? Really. There we are. That's better. So a slight turn. We're slightly too divey. So let's pull up slightly. Up we go. It's possible to stall, of course. If your elevation is too high, you will stall. We don't want that. So we're dropping now. Airspeed is 116. That's not too bad. Let's pull up slightly. Yes, come on, pull up. Now, all we have choices in throttle is either increase power or would turn it off completely. So I'll turn it off now with the full stop. We should cut the power. Throttle is now off. Let's pull up. If elevation is above 0 and you're flying, you'll tend to lose speed. You also lose speed if your undercarriage is down. It didn't take a lot to change it, to be fair. The code was there for the C64 for the horizon, and then just make it so it all worked. And then tidy up the display, so rather than just doing print each time, I did print at, which involved calculating the screen slightly. Altitude is there. I'm going to put the undercarriage down with capital U. It should be down now, hopefully. Nope. Put it down. There it is with the beep. The beep is the command. Let's pull up. It's coming in too high. A perfect landing. So that was the all-new improved flight simulator, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you for watching today's video on flight games in BASIC. I thought the simulation was pretty good once you made it real time. Airshow was a bit rubbish, to be honest with you. Air Sea Rescue, nice big graphics, but wasn't fun. Bomb Raid, I quite like, especially with the addition of the Mad Brookie. It's got a few bugs in it, but it works. Parcel Drop was good. Changed the colours, added a bit of sound, it was lovely. So, as I've now done so well at the flying, I landed a plane twice. As I've done so well with the flying, I think I'm going to get a job with a wealthy but stingy businessman. He wants me to take him, his daughter, and his daughter's fiancé on an expedition. This should be easy money.